You have a problem.
I do.
With the Jets and more importantly, Aaron Rodgers. So let's unpack this.
So
this is like the low-hanging fruit, but I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I'll break it down where it may not be that low-hanging to you. So I think what the Jets end up doing, and for those who maybe don't know the latest, you got a launch of stuff. You got Garrett Wilson out there saying that the offense is not where it needs to be. It's changed. It's become boring and predictable. His routes aren't what they used to be the last couple of seasons. Obviously, we know you got the whole chest bump or the to hug or not to hug between Salah and Aaron Rodgers. They got a lot of drama going on right now. And a lot of it, to me, is tied to their marriage to Aaron Rodgers. They go out on the limb to get Aaron Rodgers. They say, hey, why not? He's a Hall of Famer. He is a former MVP, and I get it, right? They've struggled to have great quarterback production. And I'm not mad at them going to get Aaron Rodgers. But what you got to realize, Rob, when you do that, you've signed on for that diva. You know how you got the voice?
Like LeBron. That's
you
what
know
the
how
Lakers
you,
signed
but that's
up for.
facts. That's true.
I mean, right?
You know how you have the American Idols? When you go and get that, we need a new judge, right? The show's getting a little stale. We need a new judge on the show. And when you go get that new big, huge diva person to come revive the show, it could work. Ratings could go through the roof. You could be a TV darling. It could revitalize the fan base, and it could be great for business. Or it could become cancerous. It could become drama-filled. It could become problematic. It could become he say, she say, and it isn't working anymore and kind of burns the thing down. And to me, that's what it's starting to look like with the Jets. Robert Saleh has got a bunch of issues now. You can tell he's starting to lose the team. You got Nick Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, who the offense is supposed to be singularly going through them.
You mean can't hack it.
Nick can't hack it, ain't hacking it. And the offense is terrible right now. The defense is still solid, not great as they say, but it's solid. And now you got guys coming out, Garrett Wilson, your best receiver, saying, man, something ain't right. The offense is, he said, I watch other games, our offense is boring. I watch other games, our schemes are simple.
No, here's the only thing.
For him to be saying that out loud?
But Nathaniel Hackett is the one who was the offensive coordinator, right? When Aaron Rodgers won those 2 MVPs.
Right.
And go look at the numbers in Green Bay. I get it.
That was your. I'm not even saying right.
No. But I'm just saying. But that's the guy he's talking about.
That is the guy he's talking about. But I'm saying now you've married yourself to this, and now you gotta hope. You have to hope you can go out there and get Devontae Adams, and this is the last saving grace, and something works because now you got too much starting to happen, man. They're arguing through media about cadences, Rob Parker. No, well, usually he does cadence in the offensive line. Well, it ain't the offensive line part. We need to get it back. Like, they're arguing about cadences. They're arguing about fists and chest bumps and hugs. This is where it's starting. The ship is going down, and it's going down fast.
To me, it's too early for that to be the case. And obviously, this is because a kicker missed a very makeable field goal that they should have won that game in Denver. So when you lose a game to a team like that where you don't get in the end zone, and the kicker misses a kick, it wasn't too long. The kick had the leg. He missed it. He missed the field goal. So when you lose a game like that, that is what's going to get people worked up. Because normally in football, you take the W and you move on to the next week, right? But now you have to look and go unpack it all, and I get it. Wilson not happy with the way the offense, it hasn't been great. Aaron Rodgers, his first game, Rob G, we talked about it. He looked great. Like, as far as the way he was it the second game? The way he was just throwing the ball around and whatnot, and you were like, against the Patriots. And that's what you're supposed to do.
And that's what folks thought they were going to get. But when you really start to look at this offense, man, the offense is not producing. And that's why the thought of them going out and getting Devontae Adams is enticing to them. But like I said, when you make this marriage to this, if you're bringing on this diva, you're bringing on this social media influencer to revitalize your mom and pop business. Hey, maybe if we get this social media, they have 500,000 followers, it'll save us. You're hoping that it all works out. But the one thing about it is it has to work out in its entirety or it can bring the whole thing down. And so far between Aaron Rodgers, wasn't his fault, but he gets hurt the first year, 4 plays in. And now he comes in, and again, there's a lot of time left in the season. Hopefully they can save it for them, for themselves. But it's just now it's drama after drama. Garrett Wilson talking. They're arguing about, like I said, the fist, the chest bump / hug thing becomes a thing. Everybody's complaining about their offense. What's going on here? They're complaining about offensive linemen. They've been penalized crazy. They shot themselves in the foot the last game with all those offensive false starts. So something's off right now within that team, in that system, and it's kind of like they put basically, it almost feels like, Rob, they put everything on Aaron Rodgers and went, oh, thank God he's here.
Well, because
they stopped building and stopped having a scheme and stopped having an identity. And they're just like, oh, thank God Aaron Rodgers here, our savior.
Well, because they had a good defense, and they were winning 7 games with no quarterback.
Facts.
If you look at the quarterbacks that they've had the last couple of years, you're like, how in the world are they even got a 7 wins? They should be 1-15 or 1-16 or whatever it would be, and now I just think whenever you have somebody of that stature and what was it, the expectations in that division, now Miami's out, right?
Mm-hmm.
New England's not going to play. It's between Buffalo and the Jets. There's a division.
Well, it ain't between Buffalo and the Jets.
But I'm saying, but there's a chance. There's nobody else. Miami's now out of the way.
100%.
Is out of the way is what I'm saying. So there's a lot of stakes, and you don't know, there are high stakes there, and you don't know how long Aaron Rodgers is going to play, given his age and what's happening. So a lot of things for the Jets. This was about a big year, and you looked at Denver on the schedule, and you thought W. And when you lose a game that you think you should win, and again, the kicker missed it. Like you can say whatever you want. Yes, they didn't get in the end zone, but should they have won that game? Absolutely. He had the leg. He just pulled it. But anyway,
Denver snuck out a couple of wins here, by the way.
They were terrible. You remember that?
You're starting to think, maybe they're not. Maybe they're mid, and maybe they end up being 9-8 kind of a thing, but they're not as bad.
They had one touchdown.
Right, but I'm saying the team as a whole, look, they're 2-2. And that's a lot better than a lot of teams that we thought. Shoot, I know the Bengals would love to be 2-2. But yeah, it's still early. And if they mess around and, like I said, they mess around and pull Devontae Adams, then we might be having a different conversation here, because now you got somebody with familiarity, you got somebody that wants the ball.
If you're the Jets, I would do whatever I can, and because you've already
at this point
you've already pushed all your chips in.
Exactly.
So if you got a guy like that, and if it's even if it's only for 1 year, or him and Aaron Rodgers, and you try to reunite those guys, you're there.
You're there already.
And you need something, especially coming off of a game where you don't get into the end zone. I mean, that if there's ever a time that you're going to reload offensively, and a guy of that talent who has a familiarity with Aaron Rodgers, right, and a connection with him, it only seems to make sense.
It seems like that's absolutely going to be what they're trying to do. And we just had a conversation earlier with Vic Tafer about that, who covers the Raiders for The Athletic. That looks like something they're exploring. I'd give up second round, and maybe it's not a second round. Maybe that's what they want, but it ends up being a third round pick for them. That's something they would do. But I'm looking at this offense, man. Total yards a game. The Jets are pretty much the bottom third when it comes to offense per game. Not even 300 yards a game. You think with Aaron Rodgers, those running backs, and they've made some bad decisions, not giving the ball 240, 250-pound running back at the 1 yard line. They don't give it to him a couple of times, and they end up getting false starts. So, yeah, something's not clicking with them right now. They have plenty of time. We're only quarter way through the season to get it right. But right now, something else is going on. You got too many people speaking out. You got too many issues. The false starts. Something is not clicking, and they got to figure out a way to get it right.